Excellent. So should I just dive in?
Well,
Actually,
Yeah, you have something? Go ahead, sir.
I'm sorry. Before we dive in, I wondered if I might request, in addition to tonight's agenda, Kelly, Peter Gregory, our executive director, asked me to speak with Selectboard about applying for a municipal planning grant. That was a topic that the Planning Commission discussed yesterday at their meeting. And so they wanted me to open up the conversation with Selectboard this meeting, if you're willing. It'll take maybe 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, I think we have time.
yeah, we have.
Do we have time?
We can make time.
Can we make time? Okay. All right. Yeah. The next meeting is in 2 weeks, so it's time sensitive
Yeah.
then.
It is time sensitive to start the conversation. Yeah, thank you.
So let me share. Select a tab to share. There we go. All right. So I assume you can see it since it says I'm sharing it. What we've done is come up with 4 options for how the back will look based on the plan. I don't know if you can see my mouse going up and down that we approved last time, which is the single stair, straight stair going down. And I'll start with the simple ones. They get more complex as we go. So on the left, this is a shed roof, comes off of the back of the existing. The stair is in here underneath, where it leaves sort of an opening porch deck at this first floor stair. So when you walk out that door, you're still right outside, but you're up on a, you're not immediately going down some steps. There's a little platform first, about 4 feet wide, and then you're down to the steps. The steps here are shown a lot more gracious than they need to be. And then this is the door at the bottom of the stairs. So you come down the stairs, turn left to go out, gets you around the bulkhead, and then over to the parking lot. Because of the shed roof, we need to protect that door. This door, you could go either way, depending on rain coming out. We'd need to protect the door here with a little shed or gable Vermont roof. Could be shed in one direction, so none of it lands on the bulkhead. Showing a little gable there. This option is pretty much the same, other than the fact that we're showing 3 windows here as opposed to 1 big window here. And this one, the exit from the first floor, you'd come out, there'd be a wall straight ahead of you, you'd turn right and then exit out onto the lawn there. Not showing the other building, but that you're still behind the other building as you come out. And then so that's the first 2. The second 2 are more traditional looking. This is 1 big gable roof over the whole thing. Really wouldn't need a roof over the door here because it's shedding all the snow down onto the bulkhead. If that's an issue, and it probably is, we would just extend this roof a little further so that the snow and water wouldn't actually hit the bulkhead. So we just run that roof out. This is the same as we just talked about with a porch underneath. And then sort of the railroad scheme, looks like a grain elevator, I don't know, just enclose the stairwell itself. And in order to protect both the bulkhead and the door at the bottom, it turns into a shed roof going the other way, with a protective roof over the exit door itself. And then just so you can sort of see what it would look like from the south, this is the shed roof coming out with or without some kind of protection here. Actually, in this instance, it's drawn as another shed. Maybe if it was like that, it would have a gutter. And then this shows the tall gable. It doesn't show the one that comes down lower with its own little shed, but I think you can sort of imagine if you connect the dots, this becomes the shed, and that's roof going all the way up. So those are kind of the 3 forms we've come up with, and the first one has just the two options for exiting. Would you like to ask any questions about a specific one or comment about them? I can go back and forth here.
I think, from just thinking of this in a more simplistic way and saying like, what is kind of the least intrusive? I think they all could look good if they're done well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not any of the three, but I think that the enclosed stairwell makes sense to me, but
gives you a lot of extra airspace above it.
The enclosed, just the stairwell only, so not the.
I like the number 3 better myself.
Yeah, because it doesn't seem like there would be a need to do too much to it. I think it seems simple. And I think too, we will likely have a limited budget for the whole project.
This is certainly less material than the others, but it's also more complex construction. So the least cost is probably one of these options. It's just a box. This one's probably close because it's less materials, but a little more complexity. So I assume, is this number 3 or is this one number 3? When you mentioned number 3.
That would be number 4, I think.
This is 4. Yeah. Yeah. And this is number 3.
Yeah. Number 3 looks nice with the gable. Yeah. Yeah. And that roof line could easily. Yeah. Number 3 with the gable looks really nice. And that roof line can just carry out a little further to cover the bulkhead. And it really is in tradition. It's in tradition and the lines all carry with the building.
It's probably I agree. It's probably the one most likely for the historic people to.
That's right.
Go with.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
I think the window would match the other windows. I think that it looks nice. It definitely looks nice.
Yep. One of the things I'm not sure about, I'm just drawing this line across. Yeah, it looks like he did. He, excuse me, I'm putting yep, he did. So what we've done is make this wall height just minimum, 7 feet or so at that point, to just try to pull it down as much as possible on the back.
Yeah, the scale looks good. Yeah, and you could actually conceivably, the bulkhead, you could drop that other roof a bit and probably still make all those.
Yep.
Yeah, you could take off 2 feet lower. Yeah, and then come across. Yeah,
this could come down. The other thing we could do is this roof over the door could come up and then down over the bulkhead instead of the upper one.
Yeah, you can almost wrap them. And come off the main building and wrap around and catch both of them. Yep.
So we can get into the details if that's the form factor we're looking at.
What do you think, guys?
Can we look at the first 2 again? I just want to look at those 2 again. Just to get a.
Yeah, there's it's the simple.
Yeah,
just the box.
Simple. I think the one thing I would say with this is just like having, either way, you'd have to have something over that door.
Yes.
And
that again, this one doesn't need the protection over the bulkhead because the roof's draining the other way.
Yeah. I don't know. And the scope of it all, it's all minimal. It's you still got to frame a roof somehow, and you're just adding one more pitch of a roof. Yep.
Yeah, like I say, the cost difference isn't a lot because it's such a small project.
Yeah. I think when I look at that number 4, it kind of, I don't know, my initial thought was it's kind of like a covered bridge. It's a covered, you know what I mean? It kind of has a neat look to it. So I kind of like that.
Yeah, like you said, like a grain elevator.
Yeah.
Well, stairs up the outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. But it means we have to finish the bottom of the stairs, and the roof is more complex, so it's likely the most expensive of them as well.
So it sounds like both Ken and Mike have a preference for number 3, and I don't have a strong preference for any of them. I think they all could work, but I think that these 2 are stronger for me than the first 2.
Sounds like we've got a direction. So our next step would be to take this and develop it, so we get all the details figured out and what it looks like before I send it off to the historic folks. But that's great. I did have one other question today. As we were going around the interior, and you see that photograph now? As we were going around the interior, I noticed there's really no access to the platform where the organ is, except this 18-inch or maybe 20-inch step. And I didn't know, as part of our whole, working through an ADA, do we want to actually add a stair that meets code to get up to that little platform, or cut a, this platform above here is higher. So, you'd come up and then step back down again if you went that way. So I didn't know if we want to address that or not.
It looks like you could use an opening right in the center of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
I'd still have to get a stair up to it, but
Yeah.
It would make sense. It looks, there's ventilation underneath it. Is there like an air vent?
Yeah.
Also, so that was like,
I'm not sure whether that's just providing air under there, or whether there's a duct coming all the way up from the furnace that's sneaking out through there. Haven't figured that one out yet, but it's all something we'd have to.
it would be worth looking and seeing. I mean, if we're gonna establish access and we're gonna, match out anything or do anything there, I think that we should take a look at that. Just
and then one more piece of this: none of these railings would meet ADA if you actually provided access to it. So then we'd have to add some sort of rail. It wouldn't have to be a wall. It could be something fairly light to provide that, the handrails down these stairs and that kind of thing. So we'd have to figure all that out.
Maybe we could hold on that. Maybe we don't need, I think too, do we need it? Could that be removed, and could the organ be placed down on regular floor level?
Certainly could be.
It looks like, the pulpit is kind of,
The organ that they used to play when the church was in service is underneath where the bell tower is.
Okay.
That's where the actual organ is.
Okay, so this one is just for show?
Yeah.
Cosmetics.
It used.
Yeah.
At the time, and then over in the other corner, as you're looking up over here, that's where the choir used to sit and sing. So yeah.
That's what I'm wondering too, if we were to actually put something out there, we might put it at floor level so somebody doesn't actually have to go up to it. So I would see us removing that little loft space in the first place, more than retrofitting it to do anything when there's not really any good use for it.
That may have been partly for the choir.
Yeah.
Maybe a little higher.
Yeah.
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 Or musicians.
Yeah.
Right.
If they wanted that stage.
Right. That's what that was for.
But then I would, yeah, and that's what I'm thinking. If we wanted to have some type of a stage, it would probably make more sense to do something that's a more accessible stage than just fit up the one that we have there. Because if there is ventilation there, we should look, and maybe we want that ventilation open. So I think it's opening a can of worms.
We could give you 2 or 3 different options on how to deal with that. If it's a platform with steps all the way across and the ventilation comes out one of the risers, you wouldn't need a railing across the front.
Okay.
So the other issue is we have a similar issue here in the back. That wall is too short, so you can either restrict access or add correct code height railing there. These are just all things we're going to have to talk about. Something, no railing at the stair either.
Yeah, they're all minimal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are just all things that are going to come up now that we've dealt with the main exit stair. And I can propose some options pretty quick, sketch like, and then we can discuss them next time if you'd like.
Yep, sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the last piece of this, see if I can go. I think best thing would be to do this. In this corner here, those 3 existing pews, if we zoom right in here, if we did something, on this side, do these pews stay? We're going to take out 2 anyway. What happens in this corner is something else we should sort of give some thought to. So
yeah, that's just for handicap egress.
Yeah, that's
closed.
Well, actually, this is for the stair egress, the second stair.
Yeah.
The handicap egress is going to be in this front corner.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, certainly removing one pew gives you the numbers you need.
Yeah, the 2 pews in the back come out, and that's
2.
Yeah, one against the wall, and then
both north and south.
no, it's just these. There are see these 3 pews that are running horizontally in this image. There's 2 more in front of this new door that we would be taking out, so we don't lose any in the main area.
Okay.
These are the amen pews. That's the choir.
Yeah.
Cheryl just mentioned that, there's a chance if we were to take out that platform on the other side and not have the platform go up, then we could put the on that side to maintain 5 pews if we need that seating.
That's true. We could move the pews over. And then this side, the organ could sit right here, or.
Yep. That's true. And then if we wanted to use those pews as a space for like a choir to stand and sit, they could have a separate seating space, or if that was like a group over there, you could also, they could be removable. And so, too, it'd just be an open space where we put removable.
And if it's not being used for worship service, it's sort of the dignitary pews as well, People who get looked at.
Yep.
All right. So that gives me some direction about how to proceed for the next meeting. And
yeah, I just had a thought. I mean, John Deere was married in this church, and I didn't know if this might be the appropriate time to try to find some funds from John Deere Corporation. If I don't know if that might be an interest, if when we're trying to put numbers together. Yep. Just an idea for revenue.
So is there a plaque in there that I missed somewhere?
No, the marriage license is recorded. It's downstairs, but I mean, yeah, we could put whatever we need to put to come up with the revenue, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Big green tractor on the front lawn.
Yeah, well, you never know what they might. Yeah, whatever we need to raise revenue to put this together properly would be nice to have some of it come from them.
Yep, the historical fund and the ones who helped corner school resource. We can hire. Would they help if it's John Deere's marriage place?
We should ask. We should make the ask. Yes.
Well, we're in the right timeline here, putting this together, and now would be the time we have something to show when we agreed upon something and we have something to show them. It's like, this is where I'm going. Are you interested?
Yeah. Yep.
Doug has a subcontractor who's going to produce estimates for us once we have some numbers in hand.
Right.
That would be the moment.
Great.
Yep.
Just making a note too.
Okay.
Do we have additional meetings on the calendar at this point?
I do not have one scheduled.
Okay.
We have our next regular meeting in 2 weeks.
On a Monday.
8.
So if I'm lucky, I don't have jury duty that week. I have to make my call on Sunday night. But
what's the overhang on the existing church in the back gable? I'm just thinking overhangs for protecting windows and doors for the main roof.
very little.
Yeah. So I don't know if we can go a little heavier with that with this new gable just to protect windows and doors and siding. It's just, it makes such a difference for maintenance, long-term maintenance.
Right. Yeah, here's that photograph of the back. Basically, it's 4 or 5 inches.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we really want what, 16 anyway? Be nice. I mean,
It'd be great. Yep.
the town that looks like the town clerk's office is 12, is it?
It might be 18 or 20. Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe we match that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit easier to visualize that when we see this. Looking at the other one, looked good, but now I can kind of see what that's going to look like a little bit.
Yeah, it's fairly large when you're looking up at it. Yeah, we've been looking straight at it. It's going to look bigger from the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to the bulkhead. Is that the end point?
It extends all the wall actually sits on the edge of the
edge?
bulkhead there. Yeah, in order to fit the stair in. Just made it.
Okay.
Okay, great. Anything
So
else?
in terms of next meetings, are we gonna plan for the next regular select board meeting as also including time for a check-in on this project?
Yeah, yes, if I can't make it, she could be at that meeting, and she could not do tonight. She had a conflict. But...
Yeah, that way we can keep things moving.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And do we need to schedule another interim meeting as well?
So that's the 8th, right? So that's only a week from
Or a week.
Monday.
Yeah. And we have a holiday between now and then. Are we going to be able to get enough of an update by then?
Yeah. Yep. We had another project we were cramming out the door that made it out the door yesterday. So now we have a little more time.
Good. Great.
So, yeah.
And will we need a second meeting in September, or can we wait?
Probably. Well, why don't we schedule it? We can always not do it if we don't need it.
Mm-hmm.
The 22nd would be 2 weeks out.
Okay.
22nd?
Yes.
You do the 22nd?
I may be gone
You may
on
be
the
gone.
22nd.
No,
And I'm planning on going to Maine on the 21st
on the 21st.
or the 20th.
Hopefully in a place where there's no internet, right?
That's true.
Oh, no internet.
No internet.
No internet.
No internet. No. Far away from the internet. It could also,
Zoom in. Figured out.
there's also the 29th if we needed to. I don't know if it works.
Maine. You're gone for 2 weeks.
2 weeks, okay. Well, I know I can make it either day. Mike,
Yep.
is there a day that we're
Nope, that's fine. I'll make it.
22nd?
Yes.
Okay, I'll make the 22nd.
And if we have
Okay.
stuff ready on Friday, I'll email it out.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Really?
We've got a plotter in our office, so if you email it to us, I could print ahead so we have a hard drawing.
Okay, that'd be great. And
Yep.
what's your email?
Yeah.
It's Mike
I have
at Mike Aramo Masonry.com.
So
Okay,
Mike
6
twice.
o'clock only.
Yes.
That's what we did.
Oh,
ERAMO Masonry.
And do it during the,
yep, correct.
right, just for the first like couple minutes. I don't know that I'll be able to make it early. I've been trying, but our schedule has gone back to 5:30, and so then I still have to leave early to make it.
Yeah, as we have more detail, hard copies will be easier to.
Yeah, for
Roll
all
it.
of us to see.
Yeah. I don't know what size monitor you're looking at, so.
Yeah, I'm looking at my phone.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all right. I can see what you got there. I really like the gable matching the roof pitches. It's just preservation. The historic preservation is going to want that.
Yeah, I think they'll be happy with that one.
Yeah, they will.
And now looking at this image that I've got up on the screen, we'll get rid of some of the bumps in your siding.
Yeah, the clapboards. Yeah,
Yeah, flatten out the back.
yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
That's it for me.
Okay, Cheryl, thank you.
Thanks, Doug.
Yeah. See you, Kelly.
Thanks, Doug. Thank you.
Good night and have a good meeting.
Yep.
Thanks, Doug.
Now I got to figure out where to leave here. Stop sharing first. That's why.
All right, and Sarah, did you want to?
Sure, thank you. Before I do that, I just wanted to check in. I had sent an email out to folks to try to gather notes about any time that you've worked on this project outside of these meetings. It is really important that we keep really close tabs on that. Mike, thank you so much for getting back to me on that. I just wanted to check in with you, Kelly, and with you, Ken. Are there any hours that I need to be recording for you outside of meetings? Okay.
No,
No.
not the meeting.
Okay.
No.
Sounds good. All right. That's nice. And then, so the municipal plan discussion that I wanted to just briefly open up this evening relates to applying for a grant to get some money to help you actually update your municipal plan. So Planning Commission met yesterday evening, and my colleague Brian met with them and talked to them about the fact that your plan is going to be expiring in November of 2027. So now is the time to start working on an update, because it does take about a year and a half to get everything done. It's because of all the statutory requirements. It's a lot of just stuff to cram in. In talking with Brian, he shared his notes from the discussion with Planning Commission last night, and they're interested in trying to get some funding from the state to help out with updating the town plan. The state has what's called a municipal planning grant program, and those applications open Monday, actually. And through that planning grant program, you can get somewhere in the range of $20,000 up to $20,000 to update a town plan, and you can hire a consultant using those funds. Two Rivers does provide those services to our towns if they're interested. I guess the discussion that happened last night, Brian took notes on like what are the specific topics that the Planning Commission would want to focus on if they were to submit a municipal planning grant application. So he sort of got a head start with them talking about like, okay, what are the topics that are really important to the town that would need to be highlighted as being important when we actually put together a municipal planning grant application. So he started grease the skids there, but ultimately the decision lies with Selectboard. And my question for you is, if it's something that you're interested in pursuing, we would start the process of helping you to apply for that grant. Typically, the way this works is we would ask for maybe around $15,000, maybe a little bit less. There's a 10% match, which has to be provided in cash. So that's something to think about. And then part of that budget would be, actually a small part of that budget would be Two Rivers providing some grant assistance, grant administration assistance, and then the rest of that would just be Two Rivers actually providing the service if you wanted to go with Two Rivers. You can also just have an MPG and go with a different consultant as well. The town plan itself is pretty like by road, right? I mean, statute tells us exactly what needs to go in there, but there are some options too that the town can play with as you're developing that plan. And so that's something to start the conversation about now. One of those options is enhanced energy compliance. And basically what that does is if you make a bunch of very specific edits to the plan that meet the state's checklist, and then your town plan is adopted and approved, the state utilities commission will give your town substantial deference when they're dealing with, for example, energy facility permits, things like that. So that's one example of an option that it's important to think about, and if that's something that the town wants to go for, because you don't currently have enhanced energy compliance for your existing plan. The Planning Commission was interested in doing that. But if that's something that the town wants to pursue, again, Two Rivers can help with that in pulling together all that data and that sort of stuff. I apologize, I'm a little under the weather today, so my brain is a little fuzzy. But the other thing that Brian talked about with Planning Commission yesterday was like, okay, state expects there to be a bunch of public outreach as part of any plan update process. So what would that look like in Granville? And so they started thinking about options for public outreach to update the plan as well. So all of that in a nutshell, that's the municipal planning grant program. As I mentioned, applications open on Monday. They are due right at the beginning of November. I think it's like November 3rd or something like that. Yes, November 3rd. The application itself is fairly, it's hefty. It's not something that is easy to just pull together. And so that's why Two Rivers does offer assistance to our towns in putting that together if they would like it. And then the decisions for those awards are typically made around the turn of the new year. And then the actual start of work happens early 2026, depending on when they get you a grant agreement. Sometimes that gets delayed. And then the expectation is that all the work gets wrapped up by early 2028. But ideally for Granville, it would happen well before the expiration of your town plan, which would be November 2027. So again, this is the cycle to apply if you want to apply for a municipal planning grant, and Two Rivers would be happy to assist in actually putting that application together, using the guidance that Planning Commission has provided, and continue dialogue with Selectboard as well to make sure that the application fits your priorities, if that's a direction you want to go in. So I was asked to pitch that tonight and see if it's something that you would like to pursue.
Did Brian make notes, and would it be something we'd be able to invite Will in for our meeting in a week and a half, so that then we can kind of meet with him just to get his input, so that it's clarity how we'll be working together on it, and kind of where, what they're looking for result. I think that would be great, because I think it's something we'll be working on together, and you know, that you know, we have all of the notes, and we can reference it and kind of go back and forth and make a decision to move forward if it looks right for us to move forward. Could we do that?
Sounds great. I can forward you the notes that Brian provided, and are you going to reach out to Will then to coordinate for next meeting?
He'll come to the next meeting, yeah, or at least send somebody. Sorry, either Will or Mike or somebody as a representative from the plan. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. And would you like Two Rivers to talk to them about that, or would you like to make that invitation?
I can. Is it Brian Kovalik? Is that who?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I include him and Will and Mike, because I think Mike is there. I think he's their chair, isn't he? Is Mike the chair, or is Will the chair? Will's the chair. I know Mike was being like the secretary or something. Yeah, so I'll include all of them and I'll see if they'd be willing, one of them would be willing to come in so that we can talk about it briefly the next
Okay,
meeting.
that sounds great.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Is there an outline that's digestible for what is the normal guidelines and options that we can review before?
Yes. So, in terms of the options, that's more something that is probably better talked about. I don't think we actually really have like a solid resource that we can provide on that front. However, there is an application guide that I can send you all to look over. It's daunting. It's not digestible. It's just kind of a mess, unfortunately. But happy to send it over. You can take a look and we can answer any questions that you might have at your next meeting. And in the interim, we can start thinking in more detail about the feedback that Brian had provided the feedback that Brian gathered from Planning Commission last night, which I'll forward you a copy of as well. And just thinking about how the application could be framed in a way to help make it competitive. Unfortunately, this is a competitive grant application for a mandatory state process, which is a source of frustration for us. But we have to think about how to write it well so that you can get the funds you need to do what you need in order to have an approved plan.
Good.
All right.
That'd be great.
Okay.
Great.
Okay.
Awesome.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, I'll look forward to that and I'll make sure we follow up. I took notes as we were talking here so that I know what I'm following.
Is the process the same as it was 6 years ago, whenever we did it? So the planning commission goes through and has to do public hearings, and then it gives a draft or whatever that they approve to the select board, and then the select board goes through it. And I know we made a lot of changes. At the time we had a town plan, and that got a little cantankerous or whatever. But is that still the same process? I think back then, Two Rivers just helped us. There was no money exchange.
So it is roughly the same process. I don't know. I wasn't actually part of that process. I think that was before my time at Two Rivers. So I don't know what the financial arrangement was there. We do sometimes help towns on an ad hoc basis. However, our funds are also limited, so we try to support people in getting state grants whenever we can. But yes, process-wise, basically the same in that Two Rivers would work intensively with the Planning Commission for a little over a year to go through every single chapter, get all the updates made, figure out changes to policy statements, make sure you're in compliance with the latest statutory requirements, which have changed a lot since 8 years ago. So there's quite a lot of policy updates that have to be considered as well. And then they do have a hearing, and then you submit a formal draft to Selectboard. Selectboard has its own hearing, makes any edits that it needs, and then it can move for adoption. So that's the overall arc of it. And then, if you were to get a municipal planning grant, and even if you don't, good practice is to have some sort of public outreach as apart from the hearings, right? So of course there would be public hearings, but the idea would be to have public outreach earlier in the process than before you've got a draft in hand, right? That's already been written. So you'd have some sort of maybe a forum or something like that. And Brian had talked about options with Planning Commission, a forum, maybe a survey. I know that we just did a survey for transportation stuff, but this would be sort of broader than just transportation. Does that help, Bruce?
Oh, yeah.
Great.
Okay.
Awesome. That's great,
Thank
Sarah.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you all.
We appreciate you bringing it up.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And is there anything else that you need from me before I sign off?
I don't think so.
No, I think we're good. Thank you so much for all your help in getting us together.
Yep.
Cool.
Thank you.
all. Have a great night. Take care. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Okay, so the next thing we have on the agenda is approval of payments to Policy Agreement and GBB Architects. And so this is for the payment of the architects. And that money is going to be pulled back into our bank account. Is everything set with our bank account, and are we receiving the funds? We received them?
Yeah, the first, payment for NERC, they had to send us a check
Okay.
because they failed to ask us to fill out the form for the ACH transfer.
Okay.
So we got that all squared away this week, so we're great now.
Great.
Nancy just
Got it going. Got it.
needs to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we've got an account and we're receiving funds into that account and we're cool with Vascoma now too on the other stuff, just to make sure.
She had to make a phone call tonight.
Okay.
I don't remember what it was regarding.
We'll get follow-up at the next meeting. I just want to know if she got all squared away, but it's fine. So then also on the grant photography, so this is in line with this project too. So this is all billable. This is all billable under the project. Is that correct?
Yes, Paula is the historic woman.
Yeah.
She was doing not only the historic review for the town hall project, but for this project over here. Plus, she was looking into the possibility of complex being put in under the national historic
Okay.
sites.
Okay.
She was going to say,
Better be John Deere, married here.
John Deere.
well,
I didn't know
know
that.
that. But here's a little fun fact for you. Our school was not built in 1850. It's actually 1469.
Oh.
What we found in the records. And the church building also was erected 2 years later than
Okay.
what it says on the song.
Okay.
But it's still a story.
Yeah. That's great. I think that's great. Okay.
We need a motion to
So,
approve that, or that all set?
Motion to approve the payments.
Seconded.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, payments are approved. All right, our next item of discussion, Marilyn, you're here, we can talk about this. Migrating our town website, our WordPress page over to our own InMotion hosting. And from what I understood looking at the site, the introductory rate is $179.88 for the first year. And then if it says they'll migrate for free and all that kind of stuff, unless we don't get the introductory because we're already there. And if we don't get the introductory, then it's $323.88 for the first year. Either way, it's not.
With someone on the phone, and he said that we could get the introductory rate
Okay.
because it's a whole different account.
Yep. Okay.
But it's easier for them to migrate because it's already been in motion.
Yep.
So, you know, the only thing is, I'm not sure if we have to have a checking account, like, so they can.
We have a debit card we
Okay.
can use. So this is where I think that if we pay upfront every year and it rebills every year and you pay the full amount, you can go month to month, and that's where it's the $14.99 and it changes to $26.99. But they want you to pay all in one lump sum upfront to get that monthly rate.
Okay.
And so if we did that, then I would say that first year, it should be about 180. And the second year, it's about 325, right?
You know, that gives us a year
Let's
to look for something else.
if we wanted to.
Yeah, and the other thing is, there were other fees involved that I didn't know in the very beginning.
Yeah.
The domain fee comes up once a year.
That's the 150 that we pay right now. I think
but-
we paid that, and then it's been paid by Dan for the hosting. But I think he's having us do the 150 domain for our site. Is that
I
right?
sent an email with the attached invoices, which when we first went to shared hosting, I wasn't aware of those other fees.
Okay.
You're gonna get those fees with any hosting,
That's
but
right.
you have to protect your domain, and then there's something about backup too.
Okay.
And they run those invoices that we sent.
Yep.
Oh, you printed them off?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. something.
The backup manager,
Mhm.
because he gets that. Yeah, and it's not that much. If we need to do that.
Yes.
It's not bad.
So then Nancy would have access, direct access. She
Yeah.
asks all the questions she wants about it.
Yeah.
And
I think I could probably sit down with her. You could log in and get it, but maybe we can have you there too, as you talk with them and you know the website.
I would still like my developer rights. No?
would
And they'll
help.
give it, they'll give it.
Yeah, you would have developer rights, and I think you would also be able to ask questions. I think if we get like your name on there and make sure that it's clear, then the town's paying on the town debit card. And then we do this, it's similar approval, like it's just basically goes through, we get it, we make sure that it ties down and we say yes, it's approved. But right now, we're kind of approving it in advance that we're okay with that expense. Because then we will know upfront for the next year, once we settle the old, whatever's due for what we owed for the past year. Going forward, we know we'll be paying for the future year.
I don't know how it was set up before because I thought it was like a shared account. Like Darren does it
Yep,
out of his too.
yep,
He has like 99 people or something.
yeah,
You can have as many as you can get.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if that was under Dan
it's,
or the fire department.
it was under, I think it was under Dan, because the price he quoted was the same price as it would be if you had 3 or more, like more than 2. So if he had 3, because he had the store, us, and the fire department on it, then that's the next tier up on price. And so when I was looking at it, that sounds like what he probably has is since he had 3, the one we would get in would be only 2. Like, so we could have as many as 2. And we're not gonna have 2, we're only gonna have 1.
Well,
And it's,
I looked at the fire department budget.
Yeah.
For last year. Or last town meeting, and it looks like they charged the town $600 for website expenses,
okay,
when it would only have been what we would pay.
okay,
And then I looked up their domain, and they don't have a website anymore, expired. So we really technically don't know anything.
True.
I think.
okay. Okay, okay,
The taxpayers have been paying for double
okay.
than what we would have paid as one of the 3.
Well, I'll hold on that, but for going forward, I think at this meeting, we can make a decision on the price going forward. And
And I don't understand all that. That's why
I think,
I don't know if the hosting account was in Dan's name or the fire department, but I looked at the revenues on the fire department, and I don't see that listed as a revenue.
okay,
So I don't believe it was in the fire department's name, so I don't know where website services of $600 comes from.
okay,
Proposed, and they don't have a website, so we're paying for that, for the fire department to have a website for a check we got to the fire department. It'll probably get eaten up some other money, because it's not a whole lot of money, but they don't have a website.
okay,
They do have a Facebook account though,
they do.
yeah.
The
But
Facebook,
if
they
you go
don't,
on ICANN, and you put in a domain name,
Mhm.
like granvillevermont.org,
Mhm.
it'll tell you if the domain is active and if it's owned, and that hasn't been active. So
So let's,
it's up for sale if anyone wants to buy it.
I'll research, we'll do some research before the next meeting, and I'll try to find out, but I think for now, it looks like what we'll be paying going forward is about half of what was there before. And so that I think
At the
we can,
top, yeah.
yeah, I think after the first introductory period. And so if we look at that and we say, okay, for this year, it's gonna be, if we have to pay for any of the extra things, we shouldn't have to pay for that much extra storage, but we can kind of look at that when we sit down and we go through. I think what I would like to just get approved tonight is accepting that as an expense and saying, I think roughly with any of the potential costs in there, up to $300 for this next year. Because I think that will be any extra charges plus the introductory rate. And then by this time next year, we'll have a better idea of what it's gonna be at renewal. And then for the future budgets, we can do different approval for a higher amount.
It's too bad that the dates come up at different time, like the domain name comes up at a different time. And that's why I can be a contact, but more than me should have that information, access to
I
it,
think-
because in case I dropped out or something.
I think
And so-
if Nancy and you and then the select board has access if we need to, and Cheryl if she needs to, you know, it's just so that we have, it doesn't need to be one person.
Yeah.
But if we say, you know, collectively, we have the right people on the account, so if something happens, we have coverage.
Domain was like a year and a half ago, we almost lost it.
Yeah,
So it's important that more than one person know it and can get in.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I think so.
That's a question.
and I think the payment, if we know that it's, you know, it's on the regular payment schedule or approved through the payment process, we're approving that expense. We know what the expense is, we have a renewal bill invoice that tells us what that is. It's great because then we know for sure
Okay.
the exact expense.
Doesn't a domain name only cost about $10?
It's not,
$23.
23 now?
Yeah.
Very cheap.
Yeah, and it's $7.99 or something.
Maybe,
Yeah.
it's more, I mean, we can get it separately, but.
Who else is gonna want it though?
Well, it's times 5 and a consultant executive.
It's Granville, Vermont.
Yes.
So a lot of people.
We want
this into.
Yeah, we want it. So I think Dan said that he would sign it over, you know, he would cooperate with us so we can get it moved over. So we'll cooperate with Dan and get it moved over, and then we'll pick it up going forward.
And I know Dan has to be involved at some point to say, yes, go ahead and migrate, so maybe you can take care of that.
Yes, well, we're filling it up, so that he can notify them, and then
Yeah.
we can get coordinated so we can do it. And I think if we plan on that, maybe we can do it ahead of the next meeting. I'll see if,
Let's do what, September 18th, what does it say on it?
September 18th.
So if they could have it, so it just picks up on September 18th, you could probably do it anytime, have it in the works.
Yeah.
And just put it on September
Yeah,
18th.
that's what I'm thinking. If that's why, I think if we can meet like maybe in advance of the next meeting, like if you're coming to, do you plan to come to the next meeting?
Yeah.
If you're gonna be here, I know Nancy will be here, and so if we can just take like 15 minutes and maybe call us through that.
Oh, that'd be wonderful.
I can try to get here a little bit early on that information.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably can. Either that or another night of the week.
You can't get here early.
I know.
At work.
Well, just we let the students back. So now like the students back, we have to stay there like an hour later. So they're in their late 20s and early 30s. They're not yet. But we've got a lot of people we need to take care of. So yeah, let's look at that. But I think for now, I would like to make a motion to accept migrating our website over to our own in-motion plan. Approval of about I would say approximately $300 for the introductory year, and then to be determined on the future years.
That's your motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, so moved. We're gonna move forward. Sounds good. All right, any other business that we have for this evening? Where are you at? All right, thank you, everybody. Meeting is adjourned at 6:55.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, Mike.
Very good.
Very good.